Hey, good evening, guys. It's Jim from jagfx.com. This is just my weekly video analysis of all the current trades we're in on the high probability method using the divergence. First up, it's I'm probably doing this video at a different time, so you may hear some background noise with car and bus horns, etc. I live not far from a busy road, and Vietnamese live there blowing their horns. All good though. So let's get into it. It's Monday, 30th of January 2017. We're in a few trades, on dailies and the 4 hours on the same pair. So we'll just run through the I think there's 8 pairs at the moment. First up, we've got the usual Aussie New Zealand to start the ball rolling. On the daily chart here, we're in a sell. Got my stop locked in profit there, which is good. So that's all good, and we switch over to the Aussie New Zealand 4 hour. I'm in a buy here. It's still technically a buy with regards to the MACD. It's looking a little weak, sort of forming a bit of a base here, but it's not too bad. I'm pretty happy because I've got the sell on the daily sort of covers this one, so it's good. So we just have to wait and see how it pans out. Let's have a look at the Aussie United States dollar. Aussie. I've got the fib tool on there. I should have taken that off. So we're in a sell on the daily. Yeah, she's going sideways, this one. I like the actual sell. That's a beautiful sort of signal here, how it just rolled over nicely, and I've got the red dot, which you can just see up here. Broke the trend lines. It looks like a good sell to me, but it's not playing the game as far as price goes. So let's just have a look at the 4 hour, and as you can see, look at the 4 hour. It's basically going sideways at the moment. I'm in a sell on the 4 hour and a buy on the 4 hour, and I've got that sell on the daily, so I'm a bit all over the shop on the Aussie. You can have a look down here at the MACD. You don't see too many dots like that below the zero level. Even if you didn't count this one, it's generally it's a very ugly chart, as I would say. So just have to be patient and see which way it pans out. It'll probably break out one way or the other, but we'll just have to see. All right, let's move on to the Swiss franc Japanese yen. This is one of the pairs I'm ditching once I'm finished with it, but I'm stuck in a buy on the daily, which I've closed half already. It's just struggling to break this high here, so that was enough for me. Again, it's a bit of a sideways. Had this bit of a dip down to the MAs, bounced up, and it hasn't broken that level of resistance. It's probably a nice. Geez, that's just about a triple top, even better across there. So I'll keep an eye on that. Which the good thing is, I'm in the sell on the 4 hour chart. And that's going all right. You can see the red line there. There's divergence there. You can see the divergence, the red trend lines. Look at the MAs just sort of flattening out. Not really sure which way they're going, so I'm happy to trade both ways around MAs like that. So that's no problems at all. So we're in a buy and a sell, and we're fairly well protected there. It's good. The euro pound. The daily's an ugly sort of chart. As I said, I probably said last week, we had the sell signal here, but it came down. It looks like it's bounced up to 240 LMA, which it just didn't look right to me, so I didn't take that sell at all on the daily. Switch over to the euro pound 4 hour. I'm in a buy here. Look, it's not convincing. I had regular bullish divergence, the green trend lines there. There's the entry point, there's my stop, you can see it all. And again, I made a note, the MAs are flat and crossing. So we're in a buy here. I really should be looking at protecting that, because the MACD's gone through the zero level. It looks like it's starting to roll over a bit. It's just it's not getting me excited, let's put it that way. But it's all good. Let's move on to euro yen. In a buy on this, I've taken a little bit of profit on that buy. Again, it's like the Swiss Japanese yen. It's just come down, bounced off the MAs. We've got that divergence there, but it just didn't take off, didn't break those highs there. And now look at the daily charts dropping away, which will take us to the 4-hour chart. And as you can see on the 4-hour chart, we're in a sell here, divergence, regular bearish divergence, good setup. I like that setup, and it's just playing the game nicely, dropping down. So we're in a sell, we're in a buy, usual story. A few of these trades we're in both directions, and the good thing is we've locked in profit in both directions, which is good. Well, they sort of help cancel each other out. Switching over the Great British Pound, New Zealand dollar. Not much happening here, but there was divergence, this green trend lines, bullish divergence there. But I had this big candle up here, and we're getting close to the MAs, and it just wasn't, to me at the time, like I said, this thing's gone up here, crossed, then down. It's just not an attractive chart, and it's not convincing to me. And now you can see it's rolling over, which will take us to the 4-hour chart in the same pair. And as you can see, I am in a short trade, a sell. It was actually a pretty good setup, you know. We've got divergence, regular bearish divergence, the red trend lines. I've put this blue trend line on here. It broke that on the red dot. I think this was my second go at it too, so it could have even been my third go. It's still not convincing, but the price come up to sort of the 240 LMA and bounced off it, and it's coming down, but the MAs are flattening out and it's just looking a bit ugly. The reason I've got this grey vertical line on the chart is I've got a blue dot in the MACD platinum, so it just gives me an idea that I should be looking at it a bit more closely and possibly taking action. For example, I might bring that stop down just above these highs here, and if it turns on me, then it's not a big loss and it's bearable. All right, let's move on to the United States dollar, Canadian dollar. There's loonie. I'm in a buy on this one, and this is from, you can see the blue vertical line. It's gone against me big time. It's still holding though, the stop held. It looked like a pretty good buy at the time. MACD's in two minds here. It looks like it wants to turn up again. As you can see, the last couple of days have started heading up. So the buy, even though it's not going that well, I'm still pretty happy with it. So we'll just switch over to the 4 hours. We can have a bit of a discussion there. I was on a sell on that. It was stopped out, so that's good. Took a good profit on that. And I'm now in another buy on the 4-hour chart. Here's my vertical line, hidden bullish divergence, the green trend lines. And I'm thinking I should be taking some profit there. It's not much of a way of profit. So I got 50 pips. It's come up into the MAs, so I should be thinking about taking some profit off the table there. And the MACD's starting to look like it roll over a bit. Yeah, I'll have a think about that, but it's just grinding slowly up, so I'll just keep an eye on it. All right, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah, in a buy here. This is a daily chart. It's the same as the other yen pairs. It's come down from the down to the MA, the 50 LMA, 50 EMA, bounced up off it, and I've drawn this blue trend line across here, and it's struggling to break that. Hence, I took half off, took some small profit on this, and I've moved my stop up on my buy just above the break-even level, so I can't lose anything on that buy trade on the daily chart. It's just not, they're not getting any oomph to the upside, these yen. And finally, the 4-hour chart on the same pair. Took a sell on this, and I just closed. It was for 0.05. I've just closed 0.03 not long ago. And this is this one that we had the sell signal here, sell signal there. I was stopped out previously, but look, price has gone up, and that sell signal and that sell signal are both still valid. Drawn the trend line across the bottom there, got a nice break of the trend line, took the trade down, and now I've probably cleaned up that last loss already, and with the potential by closing my stops now down below the point of entry, So it's all good. We're locking in profit both ways on the buy and the sell on that Canadian Japanese yen 4 hour. Now remember, this pair will be replacing the Swiss franc Japanese yen once I've finished the sequence on that, but there's still a few trades there. Let's have a look at the news. Yeah, it's a big news week, guys. Once I find it, that's typical. All right, so as usual, Monday very quiet, but Tuesday it starts to crank up a bit. Monetary policy statement out of Japan and their policy rates, which is their interest rates, and they expected no change there. They don't think there'll be much of an impact, but the thing about the yen is their government's very active in supporting their currency, so you just don't know which way it's going to go. They have their press conference after that. That's when they start talking. That's when you start getting nervous, but it's all good. There's some New Zealand news, unemployment, and then we go into, we've got plenty of talking heads speaking. Crude oil inventories, then the big one for the week, early Thursday morning, FOMC statement and federal funds rate at the United States. Not expecting any change there, but it could be a real move on the markets, so there's plenty happening there. Then we go into later that day in the Great Britain, then we've got their monetary policy summaries and their official bank rates out of Great Britain, so that's another biggie. More people speaking, and I finished the week with a bang, non-farm payrolls and unemployment out of the United States. So it's a big week in the news, and then you've also got a certain president that seems to be making lots of decisions very quickly. So just be aware, guys, that volatility is a good thing, but you have to be ready for it. It's all right, things move quickly, but you have to have plan B, as I always say, in place. And yeah, so that's about the video for today. I'll get on to another video very shortly after this one, after it's been loaded with that new SAR method. And as usual, guys, if you've got any questions or any comments, either in the Facebook group or email me, that's fine. Even if you want to make comments on the YouTube channel, which I sometimes miss, that's cool. And again, thanks for everyone for being a member of the group, whether it be the Facebook group or the YouTube subscription. It's appreciated. And yeah, enjoy the week. Hope we make plenty of pips together. We're on the grind at the moment, that's for sure. But we are on the positive side of things, which is good to see. So thanks very much for that, guys. Enjoy the week, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.